Alright guys, I'll make a quick video for this review for your quiz tomorrow. These exponent rules, first of all. Exponents, when you multiply the same base, you add the exponent. So if you add 8 and negative 11, you get negative 3. Don't forget to not ever leave a negative exponent in an answer. You always flip it, put the x cubed on the denominator, 1 over x cubed. Part B, you subtract exponents when you divide. So I'm doing 3 minus negative 6. 3 minus negative 6 is 9. And it goes on the top because that's where the biggest exponent is. Your variable is going to end up on the part of the fraction where your biggest exponent is. All right. Number part C, when you have an exponent outside of parentheses, it applies to everything inside. So I'm going to go 2 to the negative 2, x to the negative 2, this should be x to the negative 4. You multiply exponents when you have a power to a power. 5 to the negative 2 is negative 10. Now, because they're all negative, everything's getting flipped right here. So when I flip the 2, though, it's really 2 to the negative 2. So I'm going to square it and flip it to make it a 4. X to the 4th, y to the 10th, and that's all you do on that one. Part D has division again, so I'm going to subtract. Now, also notice where your bigger exponent is. If I'm looking at my x's, the bigger exponent is in my denominator. So I'm going to do 5 minus negative 1, which is 6. The x stays in the denominator because that's where the biggest x is. Look at the y's. The bigger one's on the numerator. So I'm going to do 2 minus negative 6, which is 8. So I'm going to put y to the 8th, and that's it. Part E down here, straight up multiplication. When you multiply, you add exponents. If you add 3 and negative 6, you get negative 3. If you add negative 8 and 10, you get 2. And that would be done, except do not leave a negative exponent in your answer. The negative exponent applies to the x, so the x is going to the denominator, make it positive. The y stays in the numerator. And part F. I would probably do it this way. I'd probably go ahead and multiply straight across first. My numerator is going to be 6x fifth y 7. My denominator would be 3x negative 3 y squared. Now I'm just going to divide like we've been doing. 6 divided by 3 is 2. That goes in the numerator because 6 is bigger than 3. Subtract your x's. It's going to go on the top also because 5 is bigger than negative 3. 5 minus negative 3 is 8. Just subtract there. 7 minus 2 is 5. So you get y to the 5th. There's nothing left in the denominator, so there's no need to put a 1 down there. Just leave it blank. All right, evaluate using synthetic substitution. That's where you put the negative 2 in the box. Going 3, 4. Don't forget your 0 because you're missing x to the first power. And start off by doing this. Bring the 3 straight down below the line. Every time you bring one below, multiply by what's in your box. 3 times negative 2 is negative 6. Put it there. You always add. Multiply by what's in your box. That's 4. You always add. Multiply by what's in your box. That's negative 8. That's negative 6, which is your remainder right there, negative 6. So that's also your answer for synthetic substitution. So I'm going to say f of negative 2 is negative 6. All there is to that. Let's do one more of those. Part B. This time putting 3 in the box, have 2, negative 1, 7, no 0 this time because I have all my exponents. Start out bringing the 2 straight down. Every time you bring a number down, multiply by what's in your box. 2 times 3 is 6. Always add. Multiply by what's in your box. 5 times 3 is 15. Always add. Multiply by what's in the box. That's 66. Always add. That's 62. So your answer, f of 3 is 62. Not bad at all. Number 3 says graph the polynomial. Use a table from your calculator to help you sketch it accurately. There's also 3 questions there. The degree, first of all, remember that's your biggest exponent. The degree is 3. Your leading coefficient's negative 2. That's important. Your end behavior means this. As x goes to the right, what's y doing? And as x goes to the left, what's y doing? Well, here's what we know. Because it's odd and negative, I know for a fact it's going up this way and down that way. So when it's going to the right, it's going down. When it's going to the left, it's going up. I know that for sure. Now, I'm going to punch this in my calculator really quickly after it is ready. Okay, so going to y equals, punching in negative 2x to the 3rd plus 4x squared plus 3x minus 1. I'll go to table set on your top row. Start my table at negative 5. Table change 1. We're good. Now I'm going to second table. And what it tells me is where x is 0, y is negative 1, so my y-intercept is negative 1. I can also tell that on the graph because it's the last number right there. Looking up and down, I see no more. Well, the sign just does change between 2 and 3 on the x-axis. So between 2 and 3, it's going to cross the x-axis again. The only reason I knew that is because it goes from my y's go from positive to negative. It also happens between 0 and 1. Yeah, 0, -1. Then it goes to 1, 4. 1, 4 is up here. And it also goes -1, 2, which is right there. And then it starts getting bigger and bigger. So what the graph is going to do, I know I have an arrow up there, it's going to do this kind of thing right here. It's going to go up this way forever. Kind of does this, back up through there. And then once it gets to, let's see, 3 is down at -10. 3 is way down here, so it's going down pretty quick. So it's going to do this kind of thing. It's going to come down here, back up, back down quickly, kind of that kind of deal right there. So best you can, it's all rough sketch, and main thing is make sure your ends are going the right way, and you have your x and y intercepts fairly close. We're going to do one more of those in a second. Okay, next part. This part says subtraction. Remember what the minus sign does? I'm going to take a step here. If you distribute the minus sign, it changes all your signs in your second parentheses. So now you can just add or subtract straight across. You have 2x squared and -4x squared. That's -2x squared. Have a positive 5x and a positive 8x. That's positive 13x. And have a -9 and a -1. That's a -10. And that's all you do there. Right there. Okay, on part B, it's multiplication and has a binomial times a trinomial. So I'm going to take this x first and multiply by everything over here. X times 2x squared is 2x cubed. X times 3x is 3x squared. X times -1 is -x. Also, now I'm going to distribute the -2 times everything in there. -2 times 2x squared. -2 times 3x. And -2 times -1. Now combine everything you can. Get a 2x cubed. There's a 3x squared and -4x squared. That's -1x squared. Have a -x and -6x. That's -7x. And then I'm going to bring it down to +2. And that's it. So get the next one. Next one has 3 binomials. What I'm going to do first, I'm going to do FOIL method with these two, my first two. I would do first, outer, inner, and last. I still have that x plus 4. I'm going to simplify this first one. -3x plus 2x is -x minus 6 and x plus 4. And once I get to this step, I'm right back where I was in the last problem. I'm going to take this x right here all the way through, make it x cubed minus x squared minus 6x. And now I'm going to take the 4 all the way through. Multiply everything in there times 4. 4x squared minus 4x minus 24. And then add the stuff that you can. X cubed. I got -x squared, positive 4x squared, that's positive 3x squared. -6x, -4x, that's -10x. And I got the minus 24 at the end. One more here. 2 methods you can do this one. When it says x minus 4 squared, you can write it twice and do FOIL, or you can remember the little shortcut I gave you where you square the first one. You multiply the 2 together and double. If you multiply those 2, you get -4x. If you double, it's -8x. Then square the 4 and get 16, and that's a one-stepper. Okay, another graphing one, which is good for us. Degree, biggest exponent is 4. Leading coefficient, 1. There's a 1 in front of that one. The end behavior means what's happening as x goes to the right. What's y doing? And also what's happening as x goes to the left. What's y doing? Now, because it's even, because my degree is even and it's positive, both ends of my graph are going to go up. So I know they're both going up. So there's the answer to those. Go back to your calculator. Go back to y equals. Punch this one in. X to the 4th. X to the 4th minus x to the 3rd. I'm having a hard time here. Punching the wrong buttons. Minus 4x squared plus 4. Table's already set, so a second table. And I see a few things. I see 0, 4. I'm always looking for zeros. 0, 4. I see 1, 0. I see 2, -4, which is down here. I see 3, 22, which is like, gosh, that's way up there somewhere. It's way up. And also I see -1, 2, which is over here. And -2, 12, which is way up here, way up there. So here's what I know. I know my graph's going up both left and right. So I'm going to try to do the best I can here. It's going to do this kind of deal. It's going to come down here, hit here, go boom, boom, go back down. But then it's going to go back up because it definitely crosses between 1 and 2. And I'm not going to be able to get that steep, but it's doing that right there, that kind of graph. And you can check it if you hit, obviously, if you hit graph on your calculator, you should see something very similar to what we just drew. So one more slide. Okay, number 6, last set here. 6 is just, again, just doing your exponent rules. It has multiplication straight across, 2 times 3. Add your x exponents, add your y exponents. And because the x is negative, you got to flip the x, make it x ninth on the denominator. Part B, I would multiply straight across first, make it 4x negative 3, y 9 over 8x 5, y cubed. And then subtract, I'm going to put a 2 in the bottom because 4 goes into 8 twice. The bigger x is in the denominator, it's going to stay down there. 5 minus negative 3 is 8. The bigger y is in the numerator, 9 minus 3 is 6. There's that one. Part C, everything, that negative 2 is outside, it goes for everything inside. So I'm going to do 3 to the negative 2. When you do exponents to exponents, you multiply the exponents, y4. So what I've got to do to fix that, don't leave negative exponents, flip the ones that are negative. The 3 goes down, it becomes 9 because it's 3 squared. When you move it down there, it's x8 in the denominator, and y4 stays on top because it was positive. So make sure you understand that 9. 3 to the negative 2 means you square it and flip it. That's why it became 9. And the last one here, look for your bigger x. The bigger x is on the top, so x is going to stay in the numerator. 4 minus negative 5 is 9. Find your y. Your bigger y is the denominator. Stand down here. 7 minus negative 2 is 9. And that's it. That's all you do. Hope that helps you some. Study hard. See you tomorrow. Please do well. Need a good one. You're going to do good. See you. Bye.